this whole idea about nonprofits and what they do in communities. How do you define community? What is community? And are you talking about that internally?
Well, we're all talking about it. It is a very hot topic. Not to pander myself, but the reason we are underwriters is because you create a proper discourse about tough issues like this one. The interesting thing for me, having come out of a long corporate career and being part, no longer as a volunteer, but as a CEO for a foundation, is that community means something different to everyone. Community, how you define your community, how you see another person's or another organization's community, is a very personal thing. And for us as a foundation, we have donors that participate and believe in and define all of their communities in different ways. Our job is to build collective community, respect individual differences of communities, and to try to unite and respect and enjoy and embrace that difference, but realize it doesn't mean the same thing to everyone.
So Rhett, and I know the indenture of the Duke Endowment has 4 specific areas, and you all are very passionate about sticking to what the founder had and what he wanted to do with this. How do you define community? Is that an active engagement? Is it different now than it was even 5 years ago, pre-COVID?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I appreciate that. The Duke Endowment, as you said, established our community in 1924, 100 years ago, when James Buchanan Duke signed the trust indenture to start the endowment, to begin the endowment. And we are faithful adherents to his guidance. So we support North Carolina and South Carolina in 4 lanes: higher education with Duke University, Davidson College, Johnson C. Smith University, and Furman University. We also help in healthcare across the 2 states. We help the child welfare system, particularly families that are either at risk for entering that system or are already engaged in that system. And we help rural United Methodist churches in North Carolina. So that's our community. But in terms of where our grants are usually defined by our grantees' service area. So for instance, if we fund a county hospital in Williamsburg County, South Carolina, their service area is probably that county. So that becomes the community, all the neighborhoods within that community. If we fund a regional hospital that's serving 7 or 8 counties in their region, that becomes their community. If we're funding a smaller nonprofit that's helping to teach parenting programs, that could be a couple of neighborhoods. So it varies by grant. And I don't know that we need to define communities. I really think the communities need to define communities, and the nonprofits embedded in those communities define them as well.
So, Dr. Matthews, the idea that the International African American Museum is in the Low Country and in Charleston, it's more than just about art. I know that is. But so for you, is community in the Low Country, is that a noun or a verb for you?
Oh, that's a great question. It's definitely a verb, I think. And I think that when we say community, we need to be intentional about it and transparent about how we're defining community in any given moment, because community isn't a region or a geography. It's a people. It's a group of people and how they're interconnected and their interconnected lived experiences. I think one of the things I've appreciated about serving in the Low Country and across the Carolinas is that we know how to cook. So bear with me here. because approach your definitions, and our approach to community is very much the similar approach to cooking, which is, you don't disparage the spices, right? You need all of that mixing and that gathering, and it's okay to call each community by name when you're having conversations. And people really do appreciate that. We are, of course, a museum. We're known for our art collection, our contemporary art collection, but we're a history museum. So the bolus of our connection and collection are actually the stories of the communities, and then we are stewards. So we have to be very explicit, and we talk to our supporters. Also, when you say community, I'm known for saying, so when you say community, what exactly do you mean? People are happy to share it. People are also happy to hear it. So I would also say we shouldn't be afraid of defining the communities that we serve out loud.
Yeah, to that point, Sara, it is an overused term. I mean, I think we can say that. But as Tonya just said, how do you define community? Why is that important?
Yeah, I think the thing that I would add to the discussion here is that community is an elastic term, because you can be part of multiple communities. There are times and places where you need to think of multiple groups in one community. It all depends on who you're serving, why you're serving them, and how are you going to serve them.